Round 2 of matches at the ongoing FIFA 2026 World Cup in the United States, Canada and Mexico got on the way yesterday with massive results coming from match venues. At the same time, gradually, the boys being separated from the men. Welcome to the Friday edition of Rapid Sport Highlight on the breakfast show Rapid Dawn, and I am Ijoma Victor. Now, before we give you updates coming from the World Cup, let's give you this news coming from Zurich, the headquarters of FIFA, where the Super Falcons will head into the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations as Africa's highest-ranked team after retaining 36th position in the latest FIFA World Women's Ranking released on Thursday. Now, let's also tell you that with the FIFA update before the continental showpiece, where Nigeria will be seeking a record-extending 11 WAFCON title at the tournament, which holds from July 25 to August 16 in Morocco. Now, despite recording back-to-back victories over the Teranga Lionesses of Senegal in international friendlies earlier this month, the reigning African champions were unable to improve their position in the global standing. Now, the Super Falcons beat the Lionesses of Teranga 2-1 on June 5th before completing a 3-0 victory 3 days later in Ikene. However, the results were not enough to move Nigeria above Serbia, Ukraine, and Czechia Republic, who remain directly ahead of the 10-time African champions in the ranking. Now, Nigeria remains comfortably ahead of teams such as Vietnam, Slovenia, and the Philippines, China's Tapia, and Jamaica, while maintaining their status as highest-ranked women's national team in Africa. South Africa remains the Falcons' closest challengers on the continent. Banyana climbed one place to 57th in the world ranking after recovering from a 5-0 defeat to Japan with an impressive 1-0 victory over Asian giant during the international window. Ghana slipped one spot to 60th position in the world, while host Morocco dropped 64. Zambia, one of Nigeria's opponents in the WAFCON group stage, also fell one place to 65, despite a 3-0 victory over Zimbabwe in the most recent outing. Egypt are ranked 99 in the world, while Malawi occupies 158th position. Now, the Super Falcons will face Zambia, Egypt, and Malawi in Group C of the tournament. The 2026 WAFCON will also serve as qualifiers for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. The 4 semi-finalists will qualify for the World Cup, while one more African team will hope to qualify through the playoffs. Now, at the top of the global ranking, Spain remains world's #1 team, ahead of the United States, Germany, England, and Japan. France moved up to 6th place, while Brazil, Sweden, Canada, and the Netherlands complete the top 10. I will head straight into the World Cup, where Africa's representative Bafana of South Africa, who had 2 men sent off in the upstart 2-0 defeat to host nation Mexico in Group A last week, resurrected their slender qualification hopes with a 1-0 draw against Czech Republic in Atalanta. Now, it was Teboho Makwena's penalty and a point for South Africa, while Michael Sandiek opened scoring for the Czechs. But Makwena's late spot kick kept both teams in hunt for the last 32, although they will almost certainly have to win their final Group A fixtures and advance. Now, both sides move 1 spot, but 2 behind co-host Mexico and South Korea. Now, looking at that game for South Africa, I think it's a big boost. Celebration for Hugo Broos, the coach, and also Makwena was full of smiles on his face. But the big question is, how will it go for them when they take on a pacey South Korean side in the next group game? So let's see how it pans out for one of Africa's representative, talking about Bafana Bafana of South Africa. Now we head straight to Canada in Vancouver, where Canada trashed a 9-man Qatar 6-0 to secure a first ever World Cup victory on Thursday, as Switzerland reignited their campaign with a resounding defeat against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now the tournament co-host Canada had lost all 6 of their previous matches at the World Cup and at the 1986 and the 2022 finals, but brought that run to losing halt in spectacular fashion at the Vancouver BC Place Stadium. Now, a hat-trick from Juventus striker Jonathan David and 1 goal apiece from Cyril Larin and Nathan Saliba, and also Mohamed Mania's own goal sealed Canada's win. Now, the victory was marred though by serious left leg injury to midfielder Ismail Kone, who was stretched off after being clumsily upended by Qatar's Asim Madiba in the 51st minute. Now, Madibo's dismissal left Qatar down to 9 men after Homan El Amin was also sent off first half for denying a goal-scoring opportunity. Now, Canada duly made their numerical advantage count, scoring 3 times in the second half in crucially boosted their goal difference. Now, the Canadians are level with Switzerland on 4 points at the top of the group, but their superior goal difference means they will win Group B if they draw their next the two-sider in Vancouver come June 24. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, Switzerland got their campaign back on track by beating Bosnia 4-1 at the Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles. Now, all thanks to Johan Mazambi, who scored twice, while Ruben Vegas and Gerrit Xhaka were on target in the late fury of goals for the Swiss, now who are dreaming of advancing beyond the last 16 for the first time at the World Cup. Now, Bosnia, who upset Italy in the playoffs to reach this year's tournament, are on the brinks after damaging loss that leaves them on a point with a narrow win over South Korea in Guadalajara. Mexico midfielder Luis Romo was in the right place and start at the World Cup and confirmed Javier Aguirre's side. Now, let's also tell you that the mother of Cape Verde goalkeeper Vozinha will finally get to watch her son play at the World Cup after receiving a visa to travel to the United States following a tearful revelation that she missed his heroic game against Spain due to travel issues. Now, Vozinha was Cape Verde's player of the match in their tournament opener after making 7 saves to secure a stunning 1-goalless draw against European champion Spain in Atalanta. But the 40-year-old goalkeeper's joy was, tempered when they revealed that his mother, Anna Candida Evora, could not witness the standard performance due to visa problems. So let's take that interview coming from the BBC, talking about the mother of the goalkeeper from Cape Verde, who had an outstanding performance against Spain, talking about Vozinha.
Ainda aqui de viajar hoje. Ainda aqui de ir para a praia hoje. Empezamos a trabalhar quinta ou sexta. Agora já estimamos, vocês sabem. Senti contente, feliz. Mas pronto. Estou de uma hora por outra, vocês sabem, me senti feliz, contente. Para eu ganhar filhos de lá na Copa, lá no Mundial, a hora de Deus.
I can see you're emotional.
Só estou te mamando que me está para a praia hoje, já sabe? Me senti feliz, que depois eu correndo direito na hora de Deus lá. Então vai levar aquela energia de Cabo Verde lá na América, porque os cabo-verdianos que estão lá. Que nós vai lutar, nós vai brilhar naquele campo. Fé a Deus.
That's really emotional. And I really don't know what to say. Well, let's see how it pans out for Vozinha, if he'll actually get, you know, an outstanding performance again in their next game. Okay, away from the World Cup and move away from that emotions. And let's head straight to the San Siro that I was talking about in Italy. Yeah, AC Milan are reportedly willing to consider offer for Nigerian winger Samuel Chukwueze as the Serie A club evaluates its squad ahead of the 2025-2026 season. Chukwueze has returned to Milan following the conclusion of his loan spell at the Premier League side Fulham. But the long-term future at the San Siro remains uncertain. The 26-year-old enjoyed a productive spell in England, registering 3 goals and 4 assists in 23 league appearances. Now, he also formed an impressive partnership with fellow Nigerians Alex Iwobi and Calvin Bassey during his time at the Craven Cottage. Now, despite his performances, Fulham declined to activate the 26 million euros purchase clause, including the loan agreement. However, reports from Italy indicate that the discussions between the two clubs over a revised transfer agreement remains ongoing, although no agreement has been reached. Chukwueze is expected to report for Milan's pre-season preparations, but speculations surrounding his future has intensified amid changes in the club's technical and sporting structure. Still with the transfer, let's tell you that another Nigerian, Sport, have reportedly placed a £35 million valuation on Nigeria defender Chibuike Nwawu, as interest in the centre-back continues to grow ahead of the summer transfer windows. Now, the 22-year-old joined the Turkish club from Austrian side Wolfsberger AC during the January transfer window and has quickly become one of the team's standout performers. Now, Wawus enjoyed an impressive second half of the season, contributing 3 goals and 1 assist in 16 league appearances, while establishing himself as a key figure in Trabzonspor's defense. He also played a significant role in the club's successful Turkish Cup campaign. A potential move to Craven Cottage may also appeal to Nwawu, who he would have the opportunity to link up with fellow Nigerian international, including Alex Iwobi and Calvin Bassey. Now, despite the speculations, Trabzonspor remain in a strong negotiating position and have made it clear that any transfer will depend on the club matching their 35 million euros asking price. Having made an immediate impact and since arriving in Turkey, Wawu's performances have elevated his profile, with the coming weeks expected to determine whether he remains at Trabzonspor or sources says he will have a move to Europe's top league. And so also another transfer, let's tell you that Danish Super League giant FC Midtjylland have resigned Nigerian striker Friday Etim from FC Fredericia. Etim penned a contract with the Wolves that will keep him at the club till the end of the summer of 2029. Now, the 24-year-old joined FC Midtjylland from Portuguese outfit CD Mafra in the summer of 2025, but spent only 6 months at the Danish club before being sold to FC Fredericia during the January transfer windows. So let's see how it pans out for Friday Etim. That's a good one for Nigerian players moving from one club to another. And this is where we put a stop to the show this morning. Join me again 5 p.m. as we look at the games that we go down later this evening. Round 2 of matches still going on. And definitely we'll analyze those games as they will unfold. Now, on the flip side of 9, since it is a Friday, it will be entertainment and lifestyle with the duo of Martha and Victor Ake. Now make sure you enjoy that entertainment between both of them, and I believe that it will be an awesome one. It promises to be a fun-filled, fantastic Friday, being the 19th day in the month of June 2026. Do have yourself a beautiful day and a glorious weekend. Good morning.